Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Emulating Pelé. The players are now 33 years old. As you can see, we've had a few more casualties. We're down to 48 players. But before we go into the players and look at their details and how they've been getting on, I need your help. In the comment section below, I'd like you to let me know some polls, some award ideas for the next episode. In the next episode, I will lay out these polls and you can vote on them. And then episode after that, which will effectively be episode 10, I will announce the winners. So we'll have the usual things like player of the series. Overall player of the series will be the big one. And there'll be manager of the series for emulating Sir Alex Ferguson. I will put episode 10 will be a joint episode for both series with all those awards. But I need you to suggest some awards, some other awards. Like I was thinking of maybe doing defender of the series, attacker of the series, midfielder of the series, goalkeeper of the series, etc. rather than a team of the series, because I think that's quite difficult to do via a poll format. If there's a poll website out there that would enable me to do that, maybe suggest that in the description below. I probably won't be using straw poll because I'd like there to be some sort of proportional representation system rather than a first past the post system, if you know about these voting systems in place around the world. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what awards you'd like to see for episode 9 when I announce the polls where you can vote. Anyway, let's move on. Let's look at the players. They haven't retired yet. They're still only 33. Some players will still go for a few more years, I suspect. We may have to holiday 7 years to get rid of some of the goalkeepers, for example. So that may take a while to holiday. So the most valuable player, in fact, is a goalkeeper, and the second most valuable is a goalkeeper too. Should we look at all players today? I think we'll do a quick look at all of them. So we'll go down the list in order of club again, alphabetical order. I think that shows teammates, but I'm just going to sort them by various things first of all, so you can have a quick look. If you don't want to look at the players in detail, you can move on. So full-time FM, Kenji Kimura are the most valuable players. Work the Space is still up there as well. Least valuable, £0. There's 4 players. I guess they don't have clubs, or their contracts are about to run out. Some players are really low down as well, but they are 33 years old now. They've had long careers. Let's look at the contract. Wage-wise, top is still Magnussen at Man City with 250k a week. In fact, the top 3 players are all Man City players. Internationally, most caps, I don't know if there probably are still some players playing internationally. Wang Heibo, 150 caps. 145 for Taylor Nelson in USA as well. And we did have 2 players never get a cap, and Oliver Grande got 1 cap. And we've seen some players retire, well, in the last episode I will go down the list. Some players we may not be able to find. Like I said, there were some problems with keep history after retirement button. Some people said you have to do it on the biography section, which I did, and for some reason there's still some people that have vanished. I think some of the ones that have retired now are still in the game. We won't look at them because I'm going to look at all of them in episode 9, next episode, once they're all retired. Goals wise, internationally, Work the Space has already retired from international duty. He's got 112 goals, and that was the most. Wang Heibo's got 87. Taylor Nelson's also got 82. Most players did score for their country, the ones that did get caps. Although Tomislav Benko, Kenji Kimura and full-time FM goalkeepers, but those 3 got over 100 caps and didn't get a single goal. Matt Jones, another goalkeeper there. Dini Mack, another goalkeeper. So all the goalkeepers didn't score. The only one that didn't score really was Tomislav Benko, and then Oliver Grande, who only got 1 cap anyway. So we're going to go down the list in reverse alphabetical club order this time, so we'll swap it around. So the ones that were at the beginning last time will be at the end, just to make it a bit more fair. So Matt Jones is at West Brom, unless you moved on, of course, and you've moved from a team starting with Z to A, and you're now at the end. So Matt Jones, 95 caps for Northern Ireland. You can see his biography down there clearly. Achievements wise, this is where he's been. He's been at West Brom for the last 6 years. Hasn't really won much in his career, but he's had a good international career, and he has actually been playing quite a few games of late towards the second half of his career. Next up, Sir Pelé Ferguson managed 23 goals in 39 games for Scotland when he finally decided to select Scotland as his international team. Let's have a look at his achievements. You can see he moved to Verona in 2026 and has won a few things in his time. You can see there. Let's look at his career stats and you can see everything. We'll look at biographies in detail when they're retired, although some of them we won't be able to see them because I bet they won't appear. So we better look at biographies now so you can read it if you're interested. Oliver Grande is still around. Disappointing career really, was ruined by Chelsea, let's be honest. Moved to Udinese for 160k after an okay career with AC Milan, played plenty of games and is actually in the under-20s, in the reserves now for Udinese, unfortunately. These are his achievements, that's his biography. You can see what he's won. He won the Italian Cup with AC Milan in 2025, but I don't think he's managed anything since then, unfortunately. Runners-up with Udinese twice. Italian Cup and Super Cup. Moving on to our Welsh international, Mark Eads, 116 caps for Wales in the end, 33 goals. Very good career internationally. Played for Tottenham most of his career. Everton as well had a big spell up, but he's been in the Championship with Tottenham of late, who... Have they managed to get promoted this season? No. Everton, Peterborough, Norwich, Tottenham down in 5th. So, it's been a bit disappointing for Spurs in this series, actually. Relegated a couple times with them. This is his biography. His Spurs teammate Ali Abel has had a very good career of Kuwait internationally, who are 72nd in the world. They actually got up to 23rd with him. Still playing at international level as well. He's been at Tottenham since 2019-20 season, obviously been up and down with them in the Championship. You can have a look at his biography. This is Anas Rama, the Indian, 100 caps, 45 goals. Sinking in episode 10 when I announced the award winners as well. I'll probably upload a couple of the save files, probably at the start and the end for those interested, maybe halfway through as well. So he's moved to Stade Rennais, 235k this season from Atletico. Didn't play a single game last year, which is probably why he moved. And let's see how he's been getting on. He's won the Spanish Cup and the Super Cup in recent years with Atletico. There's his biography. Moving on to Tomislav Benko, a Croatian player. He retired from international duty a couple of years ago. He's at Sheffield United now, moved from Barcelona for a free. Where he had a good career with Barcelona. He's been at some big clubs in the second half of his career. Sicilia, decent sized club of course, but then moved on to PSG, Man City, Barcelona. Now at Sheffield United in the Premier League. Arsenal have won it this season. Unfortunately relegated with Sheffield United this year actually. But Arsenal have ended Man City's dominance in recent years. Achievements, he's obviously won quite a few things with these big clubs, I would guess. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, he's won a few things. Kinji Kimura, our Japanese Real Madrid player, has been with Real Madrid quite a long time now, since 2023-24 season. He's been their main keeper over the years. Only conceded 19 goals in 20 league appearances this season. Let's have a look at La Liga. Real Madrid won it 3 years in a row before Barcelona won it this year. Achievements-wise, lots of achievements there. He's won so many things, internationally and with Real Madrid. And biography, there you go. Maybe a dark horse for player of the series, a goalkeeper to win it, don't know. Moving on to Baked Benz, our Swiss international, who I think hasn't retired from international duty anyway. He's got 95 caps now. He's been at QPR a few years, 4 years now, in the Premier League. Didn't play as many games this season. May have to move on again to get first team football, maybe drop down a level perhaps. Moving on to Ted Jackson, our Nigerian, who is at PSG now. Moved a couple of years ago, 4 years ago. We've already seen him at PSG, I think. Moved for 5 million from Arsenal. Actually, I don't know. I think the last video was end of 2027-28 season, I think. So he moved to PSG for 5 million. Hasn't played a huge number of games, apart from for the reserves. Went on loan to Parma as well. Achievements-wise, relegated from Serie A with Parma. Won a few things in his early days with PSV, and that's his biography. Football Manager HD, one of our players that never managed to win an international cap, unfortunately, and had pretty poor average ratings. He's been a decent player, but nothing spectacular. He's transfer listed as well by Marseille, where he's been for a long time. He's been a regular until the last couple of years, where he's been a bit part player, mainly off the bench. Very poor average ratings. I don't know if that's just it broken, but why would you persist with a player with average ratings that low? That's his biography. And he's won a couple of things, the French Cup and the Coupe de la Ligue in recent years. Taylor Nelson, the American and Granada legend, you can see here, Granada legend, Taylor Nelson. He has been on loan from Juventus to Marseille though this season. Incredible international career. Hasn't retired from international duty either. I wonder if he's still the top player. He's not on there anymore. They're 27th in the world currently. We'll probably have a look at World Cups and that sort of thing in the next episode before we do the polls and the awards and that sort of thing. So he moved to Juventus for 4.6 million after an incredible career with Granada. 30 goals in his last season there at the age of 30 I guess. Moved to Juventus, wasn't quite so successful, had good average ratings, but went on loan to Marseille this year where he managed to get 18 goals. He had a good season in League One. Let's have a look where they finished. They finished quite far down in 9th place. PSG have dominated the last few years. Achievements wise, he's won personal awards and he's won a couple of things. He won the Coupe de la Ligue with Marseille this year and the Italian Cup last year with Juventus. It's Serie A as well, so he's won plenty of things. He won the Italian Super Cup, but didn't win a huge amount with Granada. They only won the Euro Cup. But he became a legend at the club, and that's an achievement. Perhaps Taylor Nelson could win Player of the Series, if not Striker of the Series at the very least, I would say. But that's up to you guys. Maybe Work the Space could win Striker of the Series. A fight between those two, perhaps. Dan Stillwell, Andorran. 10 goals in 94 games for Andorra in the end. He's moved over to, I think, China, Muangthong United. Thailand, in fact. So, went there on a free. A strange move. It's not like he's earning a huge amount of money either, 1.7k a week, and he's doing okay with them, as you'd probably expect from a player in that sort of division. Yeah, well, there we go. It's a curious move, but it adds interest to the series, I guess. He did, in fact, win the Champions League in his time, so he's done okay in his career. Ryan Micallef, a Man United legend. He's an exceptional player this series. Certainly won a lot of awards and a lot of cups in his early days with Man United when they were quite successful after moving from Crystal Palace. Let's look at his achievements. They haven't won much lately though, unfortunately, because the last thing he actually won, don't know what's going on here, but it was 2024 FA Cup final. I don't think they've won anything since then. But still, Man United legend. That's a good achievement. Just thought I'd double check. He's not actually. He is in the legends list. So well done. We'll have a look at some others as well over this episode or next episode. Toddwood Herrera-Mato, another Man United player. Very good Irish international. He's a good fullback, and he's still playing international football. Moved to Man United for 27 million. Unfortunately, they haven't won anything since he moved there. But still been playing plenty of games for them, despite his age now. That's his achievements. Landmarks, yeah. And he managed to win the European Football Championship with Ireland. I don't know if you want to take into account their actual cup wins when you go for Player of the Series, because one player may have played exceptionally well throughout his career, but not won anything. This is Dwayne Flanagan, who certainly has won a lot and been a very good servant to Northern Ireland. Did retire 3 years ago though, so he did retire at the age of 30 after reaching 100 caps. He's been at Man City since the early days when he left Celtic. He's been very good still, getting very good average ratings, lots of assists. These are his achievements, which is just ridiculous if you look at the landmarks. How many things he's managed to win is just insane. This is his biography. Look at all those Premier League titles and European Championship Cups as well. They've won it 4 times. He won it this year. We've had Real Madrid, Schalke and AC Milan win it lately. Ooh, Work the Space. And a couple other players playing for AC Milan, I think. Mads Knudsen, another Man City player, Man City legend as well. He'll be on that legends list. If it says Man City legend, that means he's on the list. And he's been there since the early days where he left PSV for a lot of money, but he's certainly repaid Man City with his loyalty and his solid defensive ability, helping them win multiple awards. John Colkeen, another Irishman and another Man City player, 132 caps for Ireland. He's still in the Irish team. Todwood's got more caps actually than him, but he has been, I would say, the better of the two players, slightly better, and has won a lot more at club level. But I don't know, maybe you think Todwood is better than John Colkeen as a player, but awards wise he's certainly won a lot more. Dini Mack, our Liverpool goalkeeper, 71 caps for Mali, and he's been at Liverpool quite a while. He's been the main keeper as well. Not great average ratings, but goalkeepers always find it hard to get good average ratings. Don't know if Liverpool have won much lately. They won the FA Cup in 2029 and he helped them to that win. Biography, there you go. Moving on to the Australian Liverpool legend, Daniel Turner. Amazing international career, retired 4 years ago, but he has been an exceptional player and he still looks very good, doesn't he? Still playing pretty much every game, getting very good average ratings at the age of 33. Definitely one of the favourites for player of the series, I would say. Despite not winning huge amounts with Liverpool, he's won quite a few personal awards. But in recent years, Liverpool's luck have dried up. He's won the Capital One Cup twice in the FA Cup with Liverpool. And he actually missed out on the league, which they won really early on when he wasn't there. However, I was at Liverpool when Liverpool won the league. I have been an amazing servant to Liverpool. I'm a legend, as you would expect, because I've been there so long. Probably not as good a player as Daniel Turner. We play similar positions in a way. I play right back, but I guess Daniel Turner's been playing elsewhere. If we just quickly go back to him, see where he actually plays. He plays right midfield, so he plays ahead of me. We've got that right flank sewn up. He is actually more natural as a wing back, I would say. That's his main position, but because I'm a right back as well, they must play 4-4-2, something similar. So let's go back and have a look at my career stats. Look at that. Pretty much, every game most seasons, apart from that season, 19 league games. 454 league games in total. Good average rating. Achievements wise, we could have a most loyal award maybe, and then a journeyman award possibly. So just suggest ideas in the comment section below, but I suppose a loyalty award would be good, and I'd have a shot at that, I guess. These are all the things I won. Like I said, Liverpool did win the league and the Euro Cup early on. Okay, moving on to Procrastinator FM, who's had a resurgence in recent years. Because he's actually getting first team football. His value's not great though, it's not the same as the other English keeper, but he was playing games for Leicester. He has actually playing games for Arsenal, but then moved to Leicester on a free. Played quite a few games first 2 seasons, this season nothing, played in the reserves. So will he move on to, because he has been a first team regular for a couple of teams now. So it would be nice if he could maybe end his career as a first team regular. Petty, our Peruvian striker, has spent most of his time in England, I think. After moving to Burnley in 2020, he's been there ever since, up and down between the Championship and Premier League. Was in the Premier League with Birmingham, but decided to move to Leeds on a free to the Championship. Has never been a prolific goal scorer. 1 in 4 in the league isn't bad, I guess, for a striker, but isn't the best, and hasn't really won a huge amount. This is Millsy, our Austrian winger, still at Las Palmas, just like last time, where he... overview. Has he become a coach now? Maybe he's about to retire. Let's quickly look. He's retiring, yeah, so Millsy's retiring, so this is a good time to see him. He's been at Las Palmas the last 5 years, and played regularly. They were relegated. Achievements wise, this is what he's managed to achieve in his time. And you can see his awards. Gil Canario, another player that's retiring, our Portuguese player, was never really spectacular, was he, in this series? Got a few Portuguese caps, played for Granada, who was strong in La Liga, played with Taylor Nelson, moved on loan to Cologne before moving back to Granada and playing in the B team this season, having a good last season in the B team, ending well. Won a couple of things with the couple of teams that he played for, really. Let's look at his biography. Alfredo Garcia, our Gibraltar player. 12 goals in 83 games for Gibraltar in the end. Has been at Fulham quite a while, I think. Yeah, he has. Played in the Premier League as well. Fulham did get promoted after being relegated again. And he's got good average ratings with Fulham. Don't know if he's won anything. Won a few things with PSG in his time there. That's his biography. This is Alex Kenny, our Canadian player who retired 4 years ago from international duty. He's been at FC20 for just one season. He went to Chelsea for 2.6 million. Only played one league game in his 2 years there after leaving PSG. Didn't really play much for PSG either. And moved to FC20 where he played plenty of games and pretty average rating. Let's see what he's managed to achieve. Relegated with FC20, in fact. They didn't do very well. That's a bit of a surprise for them to go down bottom as well. I mean, they're a big team in Holland, but there's a lot of big teams in Holland. So I don't know if that's a surprise. I think that's a surprise. Moving on to Philip Ekstrand, a Swedish guy who got 38 games for Sweden in the end. And I think it was at Man United, was at Monaco, then moved to Vitesse in Holland, the Netherlands, for a free before moving to FC Nordsjælland in Denmark for 54k. They didn't finish in the top 3 this season. Let's have a quick look at his achievements. There's his biography. You can see what he's won. Won quite a few things with Monaco. Christopher Kvikstad, our Norwegian, who plays for Everton, 1 goal in 73 games for Norway in the end. And he's been at Everton a long old time. They were relegated though last season. And I think, were they promoted? No. Wait, yeah, they were. They won the league this season. So he's back in the Premier League. These are his achievements. And his biography. Danilo Skripchenko, oh dear, tripping over the words, Ukrainian international, still with the Ukrainian team in fact, playing for Espanyol, who he's only just moved there, 120k from Monaco, where he would have won quite a few things, I guess. Yep, plenty of cup wins with Monaco. Fabrizio Stratsner, probably the player we thought would be most likely to emulate Pelé because he's Brazilian, but only managed to get 4 goals in 35 games for Brazil in the end. Don't think he's retired from international duty, and he's played his international games here and there over the years. Still at Dortmund, he's been there a long old time. How have they done recently? Schalke, Stuttgart, Bayern Munich, nowhere to be seen since 2020. It's really crazy. They did finish second this year, but they've really struggled. I don't know if that's because one of our managers was in charge of them, did well to start with, and then they haven't since then. I don't know. It's quite odd how they've dropped off anyway. Won a few things in his career. This is his biography. Danendra Sakti, our Indonesian, retired from international duty 5 years ago. He's also at Dortmund and has been there quite a long time after moving for 17.5 million. I suppose I'll do like some factual awards, like who had the most transfer fee or who had the biggest transfer fee. I can just let you know those. That's obviously not something to vote on. Just a few facts when I look through. This is what he's won in his time. Skippy, also at Dortmund, probably one of the better players in the series. 21 goals in 120 games for the Netherlands. Has been at Dortmund since moving from PSV at the end of the first season. So must be a legend, surely, if we look at his biography. He's won a few things with Dortmund. One of world football's global superstars. Let's have a quick look just to check. He surely is a legend at Dortmund. Skippy. No, he's not. He's not there, is he? Fabrizio Strassner is. Where's Skippy? How is Skippy not on that list? That is ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. Fabrizio Strassner is there. Who's done well, admittedly, but Skippy's been there pretty much his whole career and he's not even an icon or a favoured personnel. Well, that is odd, I must say. Maybe the fans just don't like him. Poor Skippy. One of the world's greatest players, and he's not even loved by his own fans. Oh dear. Moving on to Victor Santana then, our Romanian, who strangely only got 16 caps for Romania. I'm not sure why, especially as he did play for big teams, although he didn't play very often. That may have been the problem. Moved to CSU Craiova on a free. Are they in Romania? Yeah, they are. So he's moved back home to where he was born, and he has done a few things in his time, won a few things in his time, despite not playing a huge number of games. Wang Hebo, one of the better players in the series as an attacking midfielder or a striker. I think he's been playing as a striker internationally and at club level as well. So he could win striker of the series as well because he scored plenty of goals for club and country. He eventually left Juventus for 225k, so he didn't really play the last 2 seasons for Juventus, before moving to Cesena, also in Serie A, where he played more games, 14 goals this season. He's won plenty of things in his time, plenty of awards, plenty of cups with the clubs that he's played for, and some international things as well. Matt Howitt did very well for England in the 27 games he did play, because he scored 16 goals, and I don't think he really plays up front, but we can check that. He played internationally 12 games up front, but not recently, I don't think. Surely won't be recently playing for them, because I think maybe he is. I can't remember, to be honest. I don't think he'll be on this list. Ryan Bray's still on the list, one of our players. So, let's have a look at his career stats. He's at Cardiff in the Premier League, where he moved for a free from Man City, so he won plenty of things with Man City before moving to Cardiff, as you can see there. Sam Lewis, 19 goals in 51 games for England in the end, also at Cardiff, where he's been since moving for 1.1 million from PSG, who signed him for a free from Udinese. Had a good last season with Udinese, scored a few goals for PSG and didn't really play for Cardiff this season, oddly enough. Jamarin Karom, our Albanian, half German as well. 2 goals in 60 games for Albania, still in the international team. Playing for Brescia now in Italy, moved from Schalke for a free. He must have won a few things with Schalke because they've been dominant in recent years. Yeah, plenty of cups with Schalke, lots of first division titles. Here's Leon, one of our Finnish players, 12 goals in 79 games for Finland in the end. He's at Werder Bremen now, moved for a free from Stuttgart. I think Stuttgart have been quite successful, so I reckon he won quite a few things with them. Maybe not. He won 1 first division title anyway. Here's our other Finnish player, Daniele at Barcelona, 46 goals in 91 games for Finland, retired 4 years ago from international duty. Moved to Barcelona for 2 million from Man City, where he had a very good career. And played quite a few games for Barcelona this season, 17 goals as well. He's always been quite prolific in his career. Let's just look at his achievements. Obviously won the league this season and the Spanish Cup with Barcelona, and won plenty of things with Man City. I don't know who's won the most, but Daniele must be up there amongst the other Man City players. But he's won the league with a couple of teams, hasn't he? Man City and Barcelona. Maximiliano Orlando's also at Barcelona, our San Marino international, retired 4 years ago though. He's been at Barcelona a long old time, and he's been pretty loyal. Lots of games as well under his belt. There's his biography, there's his landmarks. Barcelona haven't won a huge amount in this series. Here's our German, Janu Hanklauk, 4 goals in 40 games for Germany. I think that's gone up recently. So as he's got older, he's actually been slightly more regular in the German team, I think. Been at Atletico for the last 8 years or so. Been a regular as well in that team. Achievements-wise, he's won a few things with Atletico. There's his biography. We're nearly at the end. Paul Wanless at Aston Villa, 1 goal in 81 games for England. Don't think he ever retired from international duty. Whether he's picked anymore, I don't know. He's been at Aston Villa a long time now. Last 3 years he's played quite a few games, mainly off the bench this season. 23 games off the bench. Good average ratings. Achievements wise, that's his biography. And he's actually won the Capital One Cup this year. And they won the Euro Cup in 2029 actually. Villa, Bayern and Granada went in the Euro Cup once again. Percy Persevillians, also Aston Villa. Of course, Aston Villa got a load of money a couple episodes ago, then dropped off a bit. But they did manage to win the Euro Cup and the Capital One Cup recently. He's managed to get 112 caps for Scotland and 2 goals as well. Here's his career stats being at Aston Villa since I think that's the biggest money move we've seen. But I will announce that in episode 10. Achievements wise, on a few things, wasn't in the Capital One Cup team then I guess, or the Euro Cup team. Runners up in the Euro Cup this year as well. Maybe just was injured for the final. He would get a medal in real life if he'd played a certain number of games. It just doesn't register on here. Full-time FM, our England legend, 106 games for England. In the end, I think he's still in the team. Not in the top 6 top players anyway. But he's been a fantastic servant to Watford and Aston Villa and England in his time. Still playing most games. Was he in the teams for the Capital One Cup? Yes, he was, and the Euro Cup as well. Well done. Let's look at the Capital One Cup winners recently. Man City, Newcastle and Villa. Ryan Bray, our Arsenal right back, 117 caps for England, 5 goals. Remarkable player. Been at Arsenal since the start, where he left Brentford. Am I the only player that's played for one club? I may be wrong. So maybe I will just get the most loyal award anyway. Unless you want to vote someone else. Someone that moved after the first year, perhaps. Let's look at his achievements. Won the league, of course, this year. Won the FA Cup last year. Have we looked at this yet? Liverpool, Arsenal, Fulham, FA Cup winners. So he's won the league twice in the last 3 years. So it's a good end to his career. I think it was a good start. Yeah, 2021, good end as well. He's worked the space, still at AC Milan, and isn't retiring anytime yet anyway. Overview, career stats. This is how he's done in the last 3 years. Still scoring plenty of goals. Last 3 seasons ago, not so good, but last 2 seasons, 23 goals in all competitions. And would have helped them to the Champions League this year. Well done to them. He's won the Euro Cup and the Champions League now. And Serie A twice. He's had a fantastic career with AC Milan. As has Alex Mbb, our Dutch striker. 29 goals in 95 games for Holland. He's unfortunately in the reserves now, so I don't know if he'd played enough games to, or even played in the Champions League final. We'll have a look. But all his appearances have been off the bench. Let's have a quick look. No, he wasn't in. He hasn't played enough games to even get the Serie A title. Surely he would have. I think he's played enough games. Let's have a quick look. When did they win it? Oh, maybe not. Oh well. Sorry, Alex Mbb. You're still in the team that won the Champions League, but you didn't play in it because you've dropped off a bit lately compared to work the space. You had a very good start to your career though. You looked like you were going to be one of the best players of the series. Maybe you still could be regarded as one of the best players of the series. So there we go, guys. And that's the end of episode 8. Another marathon going through those players. I will look at team of the year, player of the year, World Cups and that sort of thing in episode 9 after I've announced all the polls for you. But please, in the comment section below, let me know your award ideas. If there's any interesting ones that I haven't thought about, then I will put them in. I don't want there to be too many because that's just overkill. There's too many things to vote on. But thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like on this video if you've enjoyed this video and enjoyed the series so far. I'll see you soon, guys.